So testing the next frontier agent, the word agent. So word frontier, you can find it here, frontier in Word, and you can also find it in your agents. So here I just try to rewrite a document, and there's definitely other use cases, but I just want to give it a try with the first one. It's going to be live demo here. So it comes back with a question: what specific aspect of inclusivity should I focus on? And so let's say accessibility, visual representation. That's a good example here. So I'm going to say diverse example and case studies. What type of visuals do you want the most helpful training material? Diagram and flowcharts, screenshots and examples, infographics. That's pretty cool. So I'm not sure. There's too many here. So let's say infographic. So it's one select only. I can add my own. That's interesting too. So here I think it will be screenshot and examples. But I'm curious to test infographics, so you might want to test that. And then what is the theme I want? I'm not sure. So let's take this metropolitan and let's start. So again, same for the other. I think it's going to take time, so might have to pause it. I'm not sure what are the limitations in terms of length of content. That's going to be the surprise. So maybe in the meantime, I can open this document so you can see the content. So it's content I generated with Copilot. Everything I do is with Copilot. So there's a lot of chapters, but they're small. And you see there's no visual. But it's pretty well organized. I give him some context to get what I wanted. So it starts with some concepts, some fundamentals, and then Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Copilot Chat, Copilot Teams Chat, Copilot in Teams Meetings, Copilot in OneNote, Loop, Whiteboard, best practices and governance and limitation, and a bunch of prompt to try. If you're interested, let me know if this document is interesting you. But this is pretty good to help the executive assistant to try some prompts, and there's definitely some materials to try, and some exercise here. Assessment, rubric, answer, and keys. Okay, clarity. Okay, and appendix. Okay, so that's my initial document that I put in the Frontier agent with those guidelines. And as I love the fact that is asking me for, giving some maybe more insight so it can do a better job. And I love the fact that I have what we call an active card to answer some questions. Guided questions, and I'm waiting to see where it goes. So I'm not sure, like in PowerPoint, you see the preview of the document. I might not see the preview there. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'll turn it on when I start to see some result. So after a long reasoning, extracting information, verifying, etc., it's trying to create pages. And for each page, we can see all the steps for each page. So I'm going to pause again and turn back on when there's more content. Actually, it just turned out that it started to show me a preview. So I have a preview too of the Word document. And it's apparently more polished than what I have. Okay, so it shows some references that he used. Okay, I'm going to pause again and wait maybe until the end of the process. So the creation was way was faster than with a PowerPoint presentation. I guess it's just words. And there were some content, some images, so but very short. So I'm a little bit disappointed. There's only three section in Word, and there's way more material in my document. So as you can see, I'm not very convinced by my try here. If I open it in Word, let's see if I didn't miss something. The design is okay. Not much of design or visual here. I can see what's that. I don't even know where it finds this document somewhere, maybe from Forrester. But there's no to convert the documents is definitely not a good example. So my use case using Word Frontier to convert the document to be more visual, it was not a good example. So I might pause it and try another use case in a few seconds. So I'm going to switch gears here. I'm going to ask Copilot, the Word Frontier agent, to turn the document in a 5-day training course with a lot of exercise, a lot of prompts to try the Word document has to be very detailed. So a trainee can take the document and apply the learning by themselves. I'm going to reference this document, and let's see if he does a better job than the previous one. So I don't know if it's because I inject the document that the result was not good previously. I'm trying to still inject the document here, but maybe with more guidance. So I'm not sure, how the Word Frontier is functioning, if it's just giving instructions and no context to the instructions, no files. So I'll pause and we'll see the result at the end. I'm gonna answer your question. What is the primary audience for this training course? So I didn't understand it was executive assistant, so it's a bit weird because if he opened the document, he would have seen that, and I don't see executive assistant. So I'm gonna say end users. I'm gonna say beginner, and we're gonna change the template to see a different result. Maybe I'm gonna hear beginner executive assistants, and let's run it, and I'll pause it. So it started to process. There's way more pages, so there's hope. So it's done, and I'm flabbergasted. So let's see that. So I have 30 pages, and they're pretty dense, and so way more than what I had in my initial document. So he followed my path, my ask, and so I have some graphics. Okay, there's a day one with some guidance here. Responsible AI. The graphic is not so cool here. Though there's still some improvement they can make. But what I like is what's following here. So here it explains, how you prompt, You can see there's, we'll see if it shows well in Word, formatting issues here. So yeah, it gives some steps, what to do to try things. Common issue, quick to fix. Here there's a problem with the image. But what is interesting is here, time saving, drafting email, summarizing, create agenda, propose times. It's giving me potential save time with Copilot to start the module, draft an email. It gives me some insight. Or I can draft email and itinerary and travel coordination with Copilot. So use cases for an exec assistant, inbox triage rules. Pretty cool. So very good training step by step with a lot of content. And I'm not gonna show everything, but you can see there's a lot of content and on all the subject, even loop and OneNote. And I didn't check the fact of everything, but it looks very good at first read. It looks very good. I'm not gonna try to modify it, but this is pretty impressive, and it might, force you to rethink how you work, because then you can delegate a lot of things to create content to Copilot. And definitely that's the goal of Copilot, is to enhance you, and maybe you can rethink how you work, because this kind of content I will have, it will have 30 pages of content of deep dive training for executive assistant, and I'm probably gonna, it will probably, I don't know, it will take me more than a week to do that with that level of detail, quality. I've never done that before. It's pretty impressive. The content is really impressive, and so now I can open it in Word and see if some formatting is. So I'm in dark mode, so it doesn't show the same way. But let's see if the formatting is broken here. So you might have to adjust a little bit. But it comes back really with good content. Maybe you need to, obviously, like every content you build with Copilot, you need to check the facts, adjust it, put your own voice if needed. But the load of the work is done, and you just have to adjust it and give some insight, and you can even reselect and re-Copilot it to make it the way you want. But it's pretty impressive. So imagine if I was trying to write a book for exec assistant and how to be trained on Copilot. This tool can help a lot of people to create that content, even write a book and publish it and sell it and whatever. So that is applied to an example, but you can see the potential here of what you can do, and you can create mixing some, imageries, and you can generate statistics and graphs and Word content too. No images, just actually it's an image, but it's an image generated based on some calculation here. So it's pretty impressive, the quality of the content. It took probably 15 minutes to create this document, but 15 minutes compared to 1 week of work, and I think 15 minutes is not enough, because I need now to take the document and read it. So probably it's gonna take me some time to read it and then adjust here and there. So I will say 4 days out of 1 week. And maybe I wouldn't have done that in the past, because it's too time consuming, but you can see how powerful this tool is and how it can empower you. I hope you enjoyed this long video, but it's long just to show you the process, where I failed, where it was positive, and so hopefully to see the potential of this new agent.